This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Porto Chicken. Fresh, not frozen. Grilled, not fried. Crown and Andrews Board Games. Fun for the whole family. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.
Hey, Dad. Hello, Australia. Welcome to episode 601 of The Couch. Thanks for supporting our 600th show. Thanks to Foxtel Aurora for keeping us on air every week. And thank you to Sight for giving us this amazing studio. Thanks to our presenters, to our crew, and to you at home for watching. I think I've covered everybody. If you've got a part to play in this Couch show that we make every week here from Perth, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for making it possible. 601 is coming up. Demelza Leonard is going to be talking music today. Can't wait for that one. Jackie Barnes is in to talk about 4 brand new movies. Steve Collins takes us to Chicago. Later on, we talk about Sirens of Silence charity with Jason Nelson. And our good friend Michelle Varley has those great kids in again to do coloured spaghetti. Wemma's got a couple of music acts. It's a big show. Hope you can stick around. 601 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch.
Hello and welcome to The Couch, episode 601. To open the show today, we've got the Saturday Jam Band, a wonderful song, Seven Nation Army. Here they are, centre stage.
I'm gonna fight 'em off. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And that message coming from my heart tells me leave it alone.
There you go. That is the Saturday Jam Band, and thanks to Wemma as well. If you want more information, wemma.com.au. Thanks, Nunzio. Somebody else that's on the couch. It doesn't sing too often on the couch, but we should get her to sing her introduction and outro. Demel Zelena, thank you, Talking Music.
Hello, how are you?
Do you reckon we should do that?
It's my little secret. No one's meant to know.
Oh, were you ever a good singer? Like when you were
I
younger?
was, not to talk myself up, but I was a soloist.
Because you love
and-
music and you're on radio and
Yeah,
stuff. So
I've been
was-
singing solo since I was 6 years old.
And what was
so-
what was one of your favourite songs that you just kept singing?
Do you know what? Mariah Carey, Hero.
And then a hero comes
Which kind of ties in
along.
nicely with something we're going to be talking about later today.
Maybe at the end of the segment we can both sing out to the break.
And that and A Whole New World, Aladdin.
Whole
Yeah.
new world.
So,
Oh, I know all your
I
songs.
thought I'd be a pop star in a former life, but
Well, we all.
music in some other way.
Well, you're
So-
still a star. A
Ah,
star on the
thank
couch,
you.
but we're happy to have you here. What's
So,
happening in music?
Big week, massive week in music this week. The ARIA Award nominations have been announced. Gang of Youths are leading the charge with 8 nominations, including for Best Group and Album of the Year. Girl-wise, so if you're after your female artists, Jessica Mauboy, Amy Shark
Fantastic.
and Sia have 5 to 6 nominations each. This is Amy Shark here with her track Adore.
You were saying you like this song.
I
Actually, I've heard
really
it now
like
4
this
times.
song. This song, it's been getting a lot of radio airplay as well. So they're up for a heap of awards. And Jess Mauboy. Other nominees include Dan Sultan, Paul Kelly, Illy, AB Original, Panau, and Peking Duck. However,
Yeah.
the nominations have seen a little bit of controversy.
What's happened?
There are no WA nominees
For a change?
at all.
Nobody?
So no WA nominees.
Where's all
The-
our fantastic music
Well,
artists?
WA artists have had a stellar year. There's been critically acclaimed releases.
Look at all the
have
Wham
been,
artists that have come
well,
through.
and the head of Wham has come out, Mike Harris, and said the fact that San Cisco, Methyl Ethel, The Waifs, even Rapid Draft,
Yeah.
they've all had magnificent years and they've all been overlooked. He's, said that it shows that out of 1,200 people who vote for these nominations, it all seems to be the other side of the Nullarbor, which
Very
is a little
sad.
bit disappointing.
Very sad that it's all Eastern States based.
Well, yeah, but you know what? We'll just WA.
How
will come
good would
back
it be
bigger
for
and
the
better next
Arias
year.
to move around each state and host it from a different state of the year?
I think it would be fantastic, but I think we're going to see with the Logies changing
They've gone to the Gold Coast.
to the Gold Coast, see whether it actually is beneficial, because at the end of the day, it's about the bottom
It's
line.
unusual that they're moving to a Gold Coast because Gold Coast doesn't have the population.
No,
I'm
but I think
curious to
it's got the
see.
glitz and glam that they're
I guess it promotes
wanting
Australia,
for
but
it.
do we ever see the Gold Coast or even Melbourne?
No, the last time I saw the Gold Coast was it Gold Coast Cops, that TV show?
That's it. And the
very
ladies,
positive.
the meter maids in their gold underwear. Anyway, good
Yes.
luck to them.
Well,
So
and-
the Arias, who's hosting it this year? Do we know?
Not too sure at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find out very shortly who the host will be. Speaking of people who have won Arias, Silverchair.
I
Yeah,
love
this
this
is going to
clip.
make you feel a little bit
I
old.
thought you picked this, especially for me.
It's been 20 years since their sophomore release, Freak Show,
Yep.
was released. To commemorate the occasion, now there's a record label over East called UNFD, Anthem of the Year 2000. They are releasing a tribute album.
Do you recognise that lady that's on that building? I think you missed her.
I do.
Her. Do you know who that is?
No.
The freak from Prisoner, Maggie Kirkpatrick.
Ah, yes, yes,
And
yes.
I said to Adrian, I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure our director, when he was
That's
pulling
why
up
they
the clip,
got her. Isn't it?
there she is there.
Yes.
From Silverchair to Prisoner,
How did you
right?
get
And isn't it
feels to
funny? I
see,
thought to myself, we better make sure that's the real clip, that someone hasn't sort of doctored it up. And we did confirm that is the
It
real
is.
clip.
There
She was
you
up in
go.
the building as the graphic on the building, and then she's in the actual
yeah.
clip. So well
There you
done
go.
to her.
I did recognise her, but
you
didn't
from
know at
where.
the time. Yeah. So
Well.
they've got a tribute album, this record label called UNFD. That it's called UNFD
Mm-hmm.
Spawn Again, a tribute to Silverchair, and so their stable of bands are putting together tributes and songs
Mm.
from their favourite tracks from the Freak Show album. And the first one that is set to drop is The Year 2000 by
Show.
the band North Lane. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, a little bit trip down memory lane. Someone else that was a little bit of a trip down memory
Mm-hmm.
lane is not doing too well these days. Peter Andre.
Yeah, where are they now? Where are
The
they now?
funky junkie singer, he has canned his Australian tour, which was
Why?
scheduling conflict.
What have you heard? What do you think?
Well, Confidential reported last week that it's actually due to poor ticket sales.
He's just not as
So-
popular as he was. Look,
Not-
I remember
not
the
as
80s
popular.
and 90s. Was it 90s when he came out
90s,
with these songs?
1993 was Give Me a Little Sign.
And see, women
so-
used to fall all over him. He had the greatest body, and some men as well, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's
he
amazing.
had the ads.
I prefer Give Me a Little Sign more than the
I
Mystery
like.
Girl.
I mean, Mysterious Girl is it does huge things today in the clubs. That everyone loves it.
Yeah,
But
you were telling me how popular
I
it
think
is.
someone like Peter Andre needs to be on one of those 90s bills as opposed to doing a solo show on his own.
Correct. Bring him back as he was, and people then you get the sentiment and the
Yeah.
people that grew up with him.
Yeah, and that's
'Cause I love his
exactly
music
along with
also,
all
but
the other music that came out.
Maybe
at the
bring
same
him in with a
time.
few other 90s.
Yeah, because you need to, solo shows in this day and age, they're either top of the chart artists like your Bruno Mars, even we're going to talk about the #1 song,
Yep.
he's sold out across the country as well. Or you've got those upper echelon performers like your Ushers, your Beyoncés, and Mariah Carey, which leads me to our next topic.
Okay.
Mariah Carey is coming to Australia.
Oh, well
Again,
done.
she is bringing a #1
I hope she'll bring back
hits
that
tour.
engagement ring as well from Packer.
Not sure. I think
No.
she's still keeping on to that one.
Well,
so
good
she's,
news.
she's heading to Australia for a string of dates. She will be in Perth
She's
at
beautiful.
Perth Arena, and that is going to be in February.
She's had some
next year.
controversy over the last 12 months, but she's sort of picked herself up
Have
again.
you seen her reality show?
No.
She's it's a very interesting show to
Is it about
watch.
her? Is it like
Yeah,
following her?
follows her life, follows how she kind of saw the end of her relationship to
Packer.
Packer, and moved on to one of her dancers.
Oh,
so
well, good. Good on her.
Tanaka.
She probably went back to someone that probably appreciated her more.
Well, one of her dancers, sure.
There you go. Probably hotter than Packer too.
Yeah, her dancers are pretty
There
cool.
you go.
And let's have a look at the top 3, shall we?
Let's have a look at the top 3 for this week as they stand at number 3.
Coming in at #3 is Dua Lipa with New Rules.
New Rules. Awesome. Number 2. It is.
At #2, it's Glorious Macklemore featuring Skylar Grey.
Wonderful. Good clip as well. And at number 1.
Rockstar Post Malone featuring 21 Savage.
Good
and
songs.
he has sold out across the country. his
Fantastic,
shows.
Demelza. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
Shall we sing out to the break, you reckon? A hero?
No,
And when a hero
I'm not quite
comes-
prepared.
leaves me on my own. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on.
I'll do interpretive dance.
And I don't remember the rest of the words. See you after the break. We've got Talking Movies with Jackie. Thank you to Demelza. Well
No
done.
worries, thank you.
Welcome back to the couch, 6:01, and with us, it's a great pleasure to invite this lady back. Now, Jackie Barnes is a lady
Hi.
that was with us. Hello. You were with us back when we started episode 1, do you remember?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And of course, you looked a bit more younger, like I
Younger,
did.
yeah.
Our hair was
Less
a bit longer.
greys and less wrinkles.
Yes. Gone are those days, thank God for that. We looked a lot fatter in those days on TV. See how I look so slim these days.
You do.
But
You're
Jackie,
looking good.
it's nice to have you on our 601st show, and you're
Thank
talking
you.
movies.
Yes, I am.
What are we talking about
I've got
today?
4 today. Normally I
Ooh.
have 3. So
No, I've given you one extra because you've been good.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
But if you run out of time, we'll just cut one off.
Okay, cool.
All right.
The first one is Jeffrey Rush's new movie. It's called The
Final
Final Portrait. Yeah, and it's about an eccentric Spanish artist,
Mm-hmm.
Alberto Giacometti. And it follows his life and him doing a portrait of a famous American writer
Mm-hmm.
who is there just to have the portrait done, and that is Armie Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So, it sort of follows the eccentric artist's life.
Not a
And
big fan of Jeffrey Rush, though I do understand he's a great performer and great
he's a
artist.
great actor, and this sort of reminded me, this performance of, do you remember Shine? That
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes.
like back in, when I was in high school, like 20
Yep.
years ago.
Oh, yeah, that long ago?
Yeah,
I
it
thought it was
was,
longer
yeah.
than that. Anyway.
Okay, well, anyway, it looks really interesting.
20 years,
Yeah, so anyway, let's have a look at the clip.
Final Portrait.
Yeah.
How come you've never posed for me?
You've never asked.
Why don't you?
I would love to.
I've got the flight the next day. It's the only thing.
That's fine.
It gives us enough time?
Yes.
All right, sure.
You're the next victim.
Okay, let's go. Front on, you look like a brute. Lower your chin. Don't move. There. Stay there. Not so far. Don't smile. Don't scratch.
Oh my God.
So, how do you like posing?
Oh, no!
I like it. But it makes me nervous sometimes the way he yells at the canvas.
Foo, huh?
He's only happy when he's desperate,
What are you doing?
uncomfortable in every part of his life.
Doesn't turn out to be any good. I'll give up painting forever. Don't laugh.
Sorry. I feel like this could go on for months.
Sometimes it does. Makes himself go crazy.
It's like he's determined to remain completely unsatisfied.
Not completely,
Congratulations!
just perfectly.
They're not usable. I have to stop.
Have you always been like this?
Like what?
So doubtful of your own ability? We've been doing this for a while now.
When I was young, I thought I could do everything. When I grew up, I realized I could do nothing. Is it worth going on with? I just want to show how things appear to me. It looks different. It's more beautiful.
Yeah, that's out now. So I thought that
Fantastic.
looked really good.
Well, the next one, Home Again.
That's Reese Witherspoon's new rom-com. She is a newly single 40-year-old
Yep.
with 2 kids, and she goes back to LA to live with her mum. And on her 40th birthday night out, she meets 3 guys who are aspiring filmmakers, and she invites them to come stay with her.
All 3.
All 3, yeah, because
Wow.
they're hard on their luck. They want to,
bet.
save some money. She has sort of a budding relationship with one
So
of
she
them.
has a sleepover, basically.
Yeah, so, is this a PG show? Come on.
It is.
Yeah, so
Of course.
it looks, this one, it's not rating very well, but do you know, I always see these kind of movies, I don't know, do you iron?
Of course
I
do.
like to say that these
Of
movies
course.
are like my ironing movies, or like my
Oh,
folding
so if
the
they're
washing
boring,
movies.
you watch them in
not,
the
Not
background.
boring, but they're watchable, like a TV movie.
So
Do you know what I
they're in
mean?
the background, basically.
Yeah.
Keeps you occupied.
That's right.
Isn't
yeah.
it funny? Reese, to me, she's a great actress, but because of she's moved on in age, I guess she can't do those comedies anymore.
No.
Now she's doing rom-coms.
Rom-coms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's look at the clip and you can see for yourself.
Home Again.
I'm Alice.
Hey, Alice.
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 Alice, please stop avoiding me. Alice, look at me for a second.
Alice is a newly separated loser.
She's so intense.
No, I'm not.
You and I've got this thing about you, and it's super impressive.
You seem to be handling everything really well.
Alice doesn't know what she wants.
Brutal.
You gotta check yourself. Everything's gonna be okay.
When were you going to tell me that 3 strangers were living in your house?
I just always act out on my birthday. It's like my own personal New Year's Eve, so I just go like, what? And I just reel it back to normal.
Did you watch these?
I did, but only because I was doing a load, and I've been up since 5:30. You know I'm 40, right?
Yeah, I knew that. Like, ballpark.
I am not in love with her, okay? I just love a lot of things about her, like her face and her personality.
Maybe it's fate that they met you.
There you go, Reese Witherspoon, and of course Home Again.
Yes, and that's out October 19th, yeah?
Now the next movie, Happy Death Day.
This looks awesome.
Amazing. I love scary movies. Are you into them?
I'm not really, but this looks really good.
At first, when I saw the trailer, I thought it was a bit like Scary Movie 2, you know, when they send
So
it up.
did I, yeah,
And
so
then I
did
realised
I.
it was actually real.
Yeah, same. That's that's what I was going to open with. Oh, you want to read this?
No, you can do it.
No, it's
Is that what you thought for real?
I really
I
did.
thought it was a send-up.
yeah, same. And I thought, oh, like, what is this movie? But then when I watched the preview, I was like, oh, so it's that she wakes up in someone's room, in a college. She's in college. She wakes up in a guy's room, and the dream was she woke up from a nightmare that a masked man had murdered her,
Oh.
And then when she gets up and gets out of the room, she gets this eerie feeling that she's lived this day before.
So like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, yes, exactly like Groundhog Day. And then it finishes with the guy murdering her again, and then she wakes up again the next day.
And is it her birthday or
It
something?
is her
And that's why
birthday,
they
yes.
called it
Happy
the
Death Day.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Scary thought. I was trying to take
No,
fun of it.
that's like, no, this is good because then it's like, okay, yeah.
Would you like me to do the other?
Say that?
Let's have a look at the trailer.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Am I in a dorm room?
Yeah, I folded your pants for you.
Great.
Dude, did you get that or what?
Stop global warming.
You sneaky little biatch. Maybe you should switch to water next time.
Super helpful.
Don't be late to the party tonight.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Tree, happy birthday. You scared me.
Hey, you're up.
Look, I know this isn't gonna make any sense.
Stop global warming?
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
You sneaky little biatch.
Happy birthday. I've already lived through this day. Somebody's gonna kill me tonight. So you can hear now.
Is everything okay?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Assuming that I believe any of this is even possible.
Sprinklers. Car alarm.
The way I see it, you have unlimited amount of lives. Unlimited opportunities to solve your own murder.
So I'm supposed to keep dying until I figure out who my killer is?
You want to live to see tomorrow, right? Whoever's killing you knows it's your birthday.
Pretty much the entire school knows.
These are signs of major trauma. You should be dead.
You relive the same day over and over again. Kind of start to see who you really are.
I did it! Woo!
All units, we've got a 187.
You didn't tell me Bert Newton was in that. Moonface.
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful to see him back on TV.
That's out now. That actually, the actress is Jessica Roth. She was from La La Land.
There
Do
you
you
go.
remember that?
Yes, a bit of a musical type of movie,
That
but
was,
a fun
yeah.
one. What's our last movie? My favourite, Jigsaw.
Yes, Jigsaw. The 8th in.
Now, do you remember the two guys that created this movie were Australian?
Yes.
Then they sold the franchise to America. I think they've done about 7, 8, 9 of the Saw movies. But the guy that originally started as the murderer, he died so many episodes ago, but they keep bringing the voice back. So I'm really curious to know how they keep doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody ever picks up on it. They just go, oh, yeah, that's the original guy. But he died so many episodes ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So this is 10 years since the last instalment of Saw. So, yeah.
There's a new murderer.
It is.
And this is the one, for those people who haven't followed Saw, it's pretty gruesome. You wake up, you found yourself in a dungeon, for example, with chains all around you, and then he leaves you a little tape recorder. You turn on the tape recorder and it'll say, if you want to be free, I'll give you a chance. You have to cut off your leg and get to the key. So there's always a very horrible torture for you to get free. But you can get free, but you virtually have to 99% kill yourself.
That's right.
It's gruesome.
I think I only saw the first one where he had to
cut his ankle off.
No, eat something out of his stomach
Yeah,
or
the
something.
key was in his stomach and he had to cut himself open.
Yeah.
Beautiful movie.
Yeah, great.
Great to watch with all the kids.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Let's have a look at
let's have a
Saw.
look.
Now the game's simple. Best ones are. You want mercy? Play by the rules.
Any identification on the victim?
Puzzle piece. But Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years.
It's not him. Can't be.
This was on the body. The truth will set you free. I'm chasing a dead man.
Just running scared.
It's the copycat.
Each place we go. So afraid.
Live or die. The choice is yours.
Just running.
You know what happens if we don't follow the rules?
The blood under the fingernails of our victim, John Kramer, the jigsaw killer.
That's impossible.
It was a game. Games can be won. It's Jigsaw.
No, it's not creepy at all.
Wow.
You might be seeing that one on your own.
And that's the makers of the people who make Paranormal Activity and all that.
Yes.
Do all of that as well. So Jigsaw, it's out on the 27th of October. So look out for that one. Jackie, the top 5 movies for this week. Let's have a look at them right now on screen. And at number 5, Jack.
The Lego Ninjago movie.
Number 4.
Captain Underpants.
Number 3.
The Emoji Movie.
Number 2.
Kingsman.
And number 1.
Blade Runner.
Any of those take your fancy?
I like the bottom 4. I haven't seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for
and,
having me.
Looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you heading off anywhere in the next week?
No.
No
not at
camping
all.
or anything?
No, no camping.
And of course, we can catch Jackie exclusively at the Winthrop IGA,
Winthrop
which
Gardens
is called,
IGA.
what's the name of the shop properly?
Winthrop Gardens IGA.
There you go.
Winthrop.
Located where?
In Winthrop, Somerville Boulevard.
Look it up and you'll see Jackie and she'll give you 20% on top of the price that you paid. No, go in and see her. They're locals and they deserve your business as well.
Thank
see
you.
you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I'll see
you
you with Steve Collins talking Chicago after this. Thank you. Welcome back to the couch. It's time for us to take a journey to the USA with our very own travel extraordinaire man himself, Steve Collins. Welcome back.
Thank you
We're
very
going to
much, Fred.
Chicago today.
We are, because you know why? Because Chicago is my favourite US city.
You told me that. Why?
Yeah. Well, it was nothing like I expected it to be. I thought it would be a big, dirty, industrial, crime-ridden city. And it was a total opposite. It is the most beautiful city.
For those people who've never been, can you, I'm putting you on the spot here, but can you give us some historic places? Like, where has Chicago featured that we would remember in history?
Well, probably the best is during the Prohibition years in the 1920s when Al Capone and his gang were roaming there. It was full of crime. In fact, I went to a bar there in a hotel, the Drake Hotel where I stayed, which was a speakeasy in the 1920s during Prohibition. It was also a big rural area. It's where the blues, the Chicago blues started in Chicago. Because a lot of those blues artists from Mississippi would go up there because there's a lot of employment there. Because it's on Lake Michigan, a lot of there was a big beef area. They had a lot of cattle there, and they would herd the cattle or send them up there in trains to Chicago, when they would either go to an abattoir or they would be dispatched to other ports by going through. And Lake Michigan is huge.
And today, how is it compared to all those years ago? Obviously, it's transformed to a modern
Well,
city.
it's transformed. It's a huge city. The city area itself, though, is not all that. The reason why I like it is the city area is just magnificent. Very, very high rise, as you would expect.
Very
but the architecture there is splendid because you have people like Frank Lloyd Wright who were there with designing these buildings, and they're fantastic. Look at those, all those Gothic-looking buildings and stuff. It's a very, very flat city.
Very clean.
It's really clean. It sits, and the thing about it is the streets are beautiful. There's trees and flower boxes all along them, and it's a really great city, not only to walk along because it's flat, but it's just easy to get around. There's none of the traffic problems that they have, say, in New York. Look at this. This is a tilt. This is on top of the 360-degree observation deck. It's the second tallest building in Chicago, and this thing tilts. But that's see the water there.
Yeah.
Chicago's got 26 beaches. And you don't think about it as being a beach city. And that's looking out east towards Lake Michigan, and in the distance you can see Detroit and stuff. It's just a wonderful. I just loved it there.
Is it a
and
great
there's
tourist?
so much atmosphere there. It's just a fabulous city. There's so much going on. And this is the
nice.
elevated railway. I'm underneath it there, of course. And it's really good public transport, buses, trains, etc. Here we are on a double-decker bus. And it's like going down these grand canyons of all these fabulous buildings. But you see on the side, there's plenty of trees, a lot of open spaces, a lot of public squares, a lot of parks. And, oh, that's me, 1,373
Wow,
feet.
you're weightless.
Standing above the road, and it's called the Edge, and you stand in this
I
box.
knew you could walk
It's
water.
on the top of the Willis,
walking air.
the top of the Willis Tower, which is the tallest tower, and for many years was the tallest tower in the world until the Burj Khalifa, and that was fantastic. Just there it is.
We've got something similar to that in Melbourne, haven't we? Like the Eureka, I think they call it.
No, not like that.
This one
Nowhere
looks like it's
near
all
as tall
glass.
as that. But look, it's great, and it's got a great history there. It's got the history of the blues, and I like blues music. I went there to see the Rolling Stones exhibition. I thought, if I'm going to see this thing, I'm going to see it in Chicago because they were in. That's
A lot
where
of
their
theatre
music
there
comes
too.
from. A lot of theatre.
And,
A lot of good shows on there as well. But the thing about Chicago is it is a really beautiful city in as much as there's so much to do. There's all these magnificent parks. Here's the Chicago River. That looks really
amazing.
It is a lovely, lovely river. It looks clean. It's very,
that
very
sounds
blue.
weird, but it reminds me of Singapore in the way that it's
But it's a lot bigger than the
It's a lot
Singapore
bigger.
River.
Just incredibly
and one of the best ways to see it is to get on one of those
ferries.
boats, or you can get on There's a giant statue of Abraham Lincoln. That's that's Howlin' Wolf, and that reflects. But look, see how nice it is.
What's there to do there? If people come there as for tourists, the things are going to be interesting is tours, accommodation,
Well, there's a lot of
food.
tours to do. There's a lot of places to go there. For instance, there's Navy Pier, which goes out just at about a kilometre. It's really, really long. They've got lots of bars and restaurants. Oh, there's me going towards the Rolling Stones exhibition. Look how beautiful it is. But there's so much to do there. That's one of the focuses. Another focus, and look at the architecture, just love it all. Another focus is Millennium Park, which is a huge public park. And there it is. That's the Crown Fountain. And this thing, there's two of these things, and they've got animated faces on them.
Who are the faces? Is it
Well,
just random?
I think they're just local people. I don't know.
Okay.
But there's this little wading pool there, which is only a couple of centimetres deep. And people go in there and they cool their feet, and it's just part of it. They've got all this public artwork in the park itself. It's all free to go there. And then the other thing they've got, as you'll see in a minute, is they've got the bean. And this thing looks like a giant baked bean.
That's it there.
And look at it. You walk around this thing and it's so reflective, and you walk under it, and it's just
And what's it mean?
It's monstrous.
What's it there for? Why the
Well,
bean?
it's just public art. It's for people to go and enjoy and to get different impressions of themselves, and it's just
Is there
glorious.
a better time of the year to go there? Like
Well, I
when should we go there?
went in May, and the weather there was absolutely gorgeous. I would not go there in winter because it gets to 40 below.
Okay, forget
the other
that
thing is there's a bit of a ferocious wind comes off Lake Michigan, so you really have to have layers of clothing. But look, the food there is fantastic.
Good food, good variety.
There's a lot of entertainment.
What about
there.
money? How much does it cost us? Is it expensive?
Not as expensive as New York
Or Hawaii?
No. Well, I don't know about Hawaii, but it's not. I didn't find it all that expensive to be there, to be honest with you. Of course, you're paying everything in US dollars.
To fly from Perth we obviously can't fly direct, and from the other states.
No, you can't fly direct, but like most people, depending on which way you go. For instance, if you're flying Qantas, and you'd have to go through LA or San Francisco, or whatever. But for instance, if you flew one of the Eastern Airlines, they fly over the top. They fly over the North Pole, and you can fly direct from there. So you could do it in two stops. Whereas if we went on an Australian airline, we'd have to go Sydney, Brisbane, or whatever, then to America, and then another hop. So it's actually, for us, it's probably better for us to go on one of the Middle Eastern airlines and fly there with just one stop from Perth.
So
but if you're in Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane, then that's a lot easier.
Out of 10, what would you give Chicago?
Oh, I loved it. I'd give it a 9.5. I loved every minute I was there. I just thought it was... it totally surprised me.
Fantastic.
And the people were friendly, and it was just a marvellous, marvellous place to visit.
There you go. We got a touch of the US with Chicago there. Steve Collins, obviously he's been there, and you recommended it. So look forward to your next trip. Do we know where we're going in a couple of weeks?
We might go to the Barossa Valley, I'm thinking.
Oh, a little bit of a drink for the Melbourne Cup, maybe.
Maybe.
Fantastic. Steve Collins, if you want more information, he does have his own website. What is it, Steve?
Steve Collins, travelcorrespondent.com.
Very long one. You can never forget it.
No.
Thank you to Steve. And, of course, you can catch him on 6PR as well during the week on Perth Tonight. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesdays he's producing. Yep. So if you want to give him a call, but Steve's probably said, no, don't bother ringing. I'm busy. Anyway, someone that's never busy to take our call is our very own Nisha. She's got an amazing guest today from Sirens of Silence, Jason Nelson. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you, Fred. Mental Health Week 2017 has just wrapped up, a great education and awareness opportunity for all of us in this space. I'd like to welcome a very special guest on the show today, Jason Nelson from Sirens of Silence. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Nate. It's my pleasure.
So Sirens of Silence is a really important charity. Tell us a bit about the work that you do in the community.
Well, Sirens was founded in 2015 by paramedic husband and wife Lynn and Ian Sinclair, who are based out of Broome in WA. And they saw a real gap in support services to first responders after a spike of suicides within the emergency services in 2014. So since then we've been working in that area, providing specialised support services for first responders and their families.
Wonderful. So when you say first responders, you're talking about the WA Police, St John's Ambulance, Department of Fire and Emergency Services?
That's correct.
And in terms of the work that you do, since 2015, a lot's been happening. What
Yeah.
type of work have you been doing?
We get involved in both community events, such as we have a running club attached to us. They raise money by running in different community events, such as HBF, Run for Reason, City to Surf and the likes. We also run educational programs with Road Trauma WA around grief, loss and trauma and how to help each other out. And we do educational and peer support work with our members as well.
Wonderful. Something else on your shirt there that I'm sure the audience is looking at is that you are known as the Kilted Rogue Runner.
That's correct, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, the Rogue Runners Club Australia was founded here in Perth in 2011. 3 of the 4 founding members were ex-police officers. We've come together to create a free-to-join community running group that can provide help and support through fitness, family and fun and fundraising to not just emergency service workers but just the wider community initially. And off the back of that, I started to raise additional awareness in 2013. I started to run marathons and other running events in a kilt, and have since got the name Kilted Rogue Runner. And I use that to raise the additional awareness for the club, but also for Sirens of Silence.
Sure. You're a very passionate individual and you're involved in so many areas, working for the state government as an investigator at the moment, for one of the departments. Tell me about where your passion comes from in this space.
Well, in 2008, I attempted suicide several times myself after a battle with depression and anxiety, and I've since been diagnosed with complex PTSD. Also, 2 years ago, our family felt another blow when our then daughter, Holly, who was 17, attempted suicide. This just caused a monumental shift in me. I was always open about talking about my own issues, but when we went through the pain and the aftermath of Holly attempting to take a life. It just created a monumental shift in my thinking, and from that moment on, I just wanted to give back and raise that educational awareness, mainly to break down those stigmas that are attached to mental health issues, and keep the conversation going. We all know that physical fitness is so important, you know, joining the gym, getting fit, and if we feel ill or if we have an injury, we go to the doctor or the hospital. Now we need to concentrate on that mental fitness as well as part of that holistic health journey.
Absolutely, and I think it's very courageous when you utilise your own story, thank you, and you do share that with the audience, because we could have individuals who are, you know, 18 up to 70, 80 watching us, a whole, you know, developmental group, but mental health doesn't discriminate.
No, it doesn't.
And, you know, it's very real, and that's what I'm hearing from you. So thank you for sharing that with us.
No, you're welcome. It's what people don't understand is nearly 3,000 people in Australia take their lives every day. That's 8 people, not every day, every year. That's 8 people every single day. And when mental health costs the country 10.9 billion a year, we really need to shift our focus in that area and help prevent those statistics getting any greater, or at least try and reduce them over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the mental health continuum, if you look at a continuum from 0 to 10, 0 being, I guess, you know, our well-being state, up to 10, I'm not functioning as well. You know, between 0 and 5, being proactive and seeking support, very important. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm passionate about sharing my story. I want people to understand it. You may be in a crisis point today, but recovery is possible. And just working on that through your own self-determination, your own strengths and interests, and recognising that you're a unique person, so one size doesn't fit all. What might work for me might not work for another person.
What would you say to anyone sitting there at the moment that really wants to seek some assistance, but as we all do sometimes have some barriers? What are some sort of words of advice?
There's a range of services out there, whether that's through your own workplace, through your employee assistance program, through external services, through non-government organisations and charities, and lots of free services too. People worry about the cost of maybe going to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But really what I would say is, look, get the help. It doesn't matter where you get the help, but get the help. Really go and see your GP. First and foremost, they can get you in touch with a number of different providers and professional help initially, but also know that you can help yourself through your own self-determination. You might not know it straight away, and you might need someone to just walk alongside you and take a bit of that stress off you as you first take that step. But really know that with the help, recovery is possible. And just honestly seek the help. Don't be frightened to put your hand up, whether that's a crisis line such as Beyond Blue or Lifeline or the Talkback service, whatever it may be, just seek the help.
Thank you, Jason. That's extremely powerful. And like I said before, I think, you know, your journey, your level of courage in talking about your experience is just phenomenal. And, you know, I'm a little bit speechless around that with mental health just week being just gone too. So look, I thank you once again. I think all the work you're doing is absolutely amazing. And we look forward to potentially having you back on the show if you'd like to come on and talk to us about other areas of mental health.
I'd love to. And if you're not sure about where to get some help, you can quite happily for people to look me up on social media or even through Sirens of Silence. Although we do help emergency service workers, obviously we'll help facilitate finding the right help for someone if they want to reach out.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Jason.
Thanks,
we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very
fantastic.
much.
Asked you live on air. Thank you. So for everyone sitting at home at the moment, there is assistance. Really important that you follow us on thecouch.com.au through our Facebook page. We can certainly triage and provide some resources for you as well. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much to Nisha, and thank you to Jason Nelson for coming in today from Sirens of Silence. We will have Jason back very soon talking mental health and other topics surrounding that as well. But if you would like some help and you're out there and you're watching the show today, Lifeline does an amazing job. Their number is 13 11 14. That's 13 11 14. Please use their resources. They're there 24 hours a day to help. We will take a break and be back with more of The Couch right after this. We're talking coloured spaghetti. See you then. Welcome back to The Couch on Aurora Television on Foxtel. We have got a special treat for you now. Michelle Varley is back with another fantastic coloured spaghetti, and she's got a couple of guests that are going to perform for us as well. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to this episode of Coloured Spaghetti, the show where we bring you activities that you can do with your kids that don't cost a lot of money and are for everyone, any age and any ability. Today we're going to look at music and how important music is in everybody's life, and I am so excited because today I have a very special guest. Shaheen is here. Shaheen is part of the Subi Brothers, who are fantastic performers. We're on Australia's Got Talent last year. Shaheen, thank you so much for coming in.
No worries, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's lovely to have you here. I'm one of your biggest fans,
Oh,
so
thank you.
you are awesome, and you're going to play along with some of our kids today. Shaheen, tell me why music is important in people's lives.
Music is so important in people's life because, for example, for me, it helps me concentrate during class. So when I'm sitting in class, I put my headphones in and it'll help me concentrate. I don't hear the sound around me of the students or the teachers, so I just put my head in. It helps us connect with our emotions. For example, if you're listening to a sad song, you can connect with sad emotions. If you're listening to a happy song, it helps you with your happy emotions. So it helps you with so many things.
Yeah, I love that part about music is that it helps you connect with people on so many different levels. So when did you know that music was a part of your life?
I found that music was a part of my life since I was 3, me and my twin brother. Then as we grew up, my little brother also joined us and we formed the band.
Oh, okay. So were your family musical?
Yeah, all our families are musical, yes.
Okay, so does that mean you have to be musical to share music with your kids at home?
Not at all. You don't have to be musical at all to start playing music. You can just grab an instrument, hop online, YouTube, and look at how to play up a song.
Yeah. And what about kids with disabilities? How can music play a part of their life?
It can help them relieve stress from their body. For example, like my buddy Christian here, he's deaf, but he can feel the rhythm when he's playing on the drum from the vibration, so anyone can play music.
That's so good to hear, and important to remember that music
100%.
is for everyone, right? Yeah, fantastic. So this is a bit I'm concerned about. Do you have to have expensive instruments to be able to share music with your kids?
No, not at all. Like when we were young, we used to get pots and pans and just start hitting on them. It's as simple as that.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that because I had a great time during this week putting together some instruments that using things just from around the house and the garden, and that's what we're going to do today. That's what you can do today with your kids to make music. All right, so let's have a look at what we've got here and let's introduce some of these kids to you. What's your name?
I'm Isaac and I'm 15.
You're 15. And what instrument have you got there, Isaac?
I got some cymbals.
Some cymbals, but are they real cymbals from a music shop?
No.
How did we make them?
With pan.
What do we usually use those for?
For banging.
Yeah, and we can, in the kitchen, we find them. Where do we find them?
In the kitchen.
Yes, on pots and pan lids, don't we?
Yeah.
Show us what sound that makes. Lovely, well done. Right, down here, we've got some little people down here. What's your name?
Kai.
Kai, and how old are you?
5.5, and I'm almost 6.
Oh, almost 6, that's very important. What instruments have you got?
Drums.
Can you show us what sound they make? And what are the drums? What have you made the drums out of?
Pans.
Pans, just pans from the cupboard. That's fantastic. All right, and who have we got here? What's your name?
Hallie.
How old are you, Hallie?
4.
Oh, and can you show us your musical instrument? What sound does it make? Oh, I like that. Do you know what's inside that?
Water.
Water. It's just water in a tomato sauce bottle, isn't it? That makes a soft kind of a sound. Remembering that some kids don't like really loud noises, so even softer sounds can be used as well. Okay, who have we got here in this bright yellow t-shirt?
My name is Isla.
Yeah? How old are you, Isla?
9.
Okay, thank you for coming to Coloured Spaghetti. Can you tell us about your instrument?
This is rice in here.
Rice? Okay, what sound does it make? Okay, and what about the other one?
Gum nuts.
Gum nuts in a Nutella jar. Who would have thought? Let's hear what that sounds like. So 2 different sounds, aren't they? But very easy to make. Well done. Thanks, Isla. Okay, now welcome to the lovely Lauren. Thank you for coming, Lauren.
That's okay, my pleasure.
And who have we got here?
We've got Christian here.
And you're Christian's signer?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if he's going to sign his name. You sign Christian. And Christian's got these wooden spoons.
Yeah.
And you're going to bang on here. And he'll feel that.
Fantastic.
Because he's sitting on there.
Yeah, because he's sitting on the drum, he'll be able to feel the vibrations. Thank you for coming, Christian. That's fantastic. Awesome. Lovely. Okay, so we are going to now play our first game, first activity. Shaheen, can you give us a beat so that the kids can copy? So, sorry, this is going to help kids with memory and with concentration and just experiencing the different sounds that the instruments make. Okay,
Ready?
give us a beat.
Are you guys ready? Yeah?
Yes, you ready?
All right, let's do it. This is the first beat.
Okay, ready? We're going to start with Hallie. You go first. Lovely, well done. That's fantastic. Kai, you'll go. Well
Good job,
done.
buddy.
Isaac? Bit more. Good boy, well tried.
Good try.
Isla, you'll go. Fantastic. And Christian? Well done. Give them a clap. Give yourselves all a big clap. Well done.
Well done, guys.
Okay, have we got time for one more?
Of course, of course. Ready, guys?
Okay, ready, Hallie? Off you go. Good go. Well done. Kai, nice and loud. Well done. Isaac, you'll go. Bit more. Good boy, well done. And Isla? Fantastic. And Christian, finish us off. Oh, that's awesome. Lovely. Give yourselves a big clap. Well done. Okay, we are going to have to say goodbye now. We are going to end with Shaheen playing a very well-known song. So sing along at home, play your instruments at home. These guys are going to play along with him. Thank you to Fred and the Couch for having us. Please go and have a look at our Facebook page, Coloured Spaghetti, find out what's going on. And we can't wait to see you next time. Have a great week. Play us out, Shaheen.
Let's do it.
Nice and loud, kids. Nice and loud.
What do you mean? Whoa, whoa, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you run out of time. What do you mean? Oh, 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 what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean? You're so indecisive. What I'm saying, trying to catch the beat, make up your heart. Don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't walk for us when, where do I start? First you wanna go to the left and you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and then between. Oh, I really wanna wanna know, what do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? So you're running out of time, what do you
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you to all the kids for coming in today. That is where we leave the show today. No more time for anything else. We're going to go out with Shaheen, playing the rest of that song. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.
You're overprotected when I'm leaving. I'm trying to compromise, but I can't win. You wanna make a point, but you keep preaching. You had me from the start, won't let this end. First you wanna go to the left, and you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and then between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean?
This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Porto Chicken. Fresh, not frozen. Grilled, not fried. Crown and Andrews Board Games. Fun for the whole family. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.